And here is the Vegan's Almanac for today, the 3rd of April. April 3rd is World Aquatic Animal Day, a day dedicated to raising global awareness about these often forgotten animals. Aquatic animals are some of the most fascinating on Earth, and they play critical roles in their ecosystems. Despite their importance, many people lack knowledge about marine life, which leads to the overconsumption, neglect, and abuse of aquatic animals. Founded in 2020, World Aquatic Animal Day was created by people at the Animal Law Clinic at the Lewis and Clark Law School in Portland, Oregon. In addition to fish, the category of aquatic animals includes a variety of other creatures, such as mollusks, crustaceans, aquatic birds, starfish, corals, aquatic insects, amphibians, marine mammals, reptiles, and more. Aquatic animals may be vertebrates or invertebrates. They may breathe air or extract oxygen through gills or their skin, and they may live in either freshwater or saltwater. But no matter what their differences are, one thing is for sure: aquatic animals deserve to be noticed and appreciated. Aquatic animals are used and abused for human consumption and entertainment in a multitude of ways that threaten their existence. Organizations like the Physicians Committee work to replace their use in research and testing with more effective, more reliable, and more humane non-animal methods. One of the main risks for water animals is commercial fishing. Almost half of the fish species who are caught by fishing vessels are not commercial. They are thrown back into the oceans and seas, dead or injured. Also, the gear those fishing vessels use are routinely abandoned in the water, which is deadly for the water animals and for the coral reefs. Today and every day, all aquatic animals deserve to be protected from harm. It's the birthday of Jane Goodall, born on this day in 1934. Jane Goodall was an English zoologist, primatologist, and anthropologist. She's considered to be the world's foremost expert on chimpanzees. After 60 years studying the social and family interactions of wild chimpanzees, she wrote of one of her early experiences in her education this way: Louis Leakey arranged for me to go to Cambridge University to work toward a PhD in ethology. There, I was criticized for my lack of scientific method, for naming the chimpanzees rather than assigning each a number, for, quote, giving them personalities, and for maintaining they had minds and emotions. For these attributes, I was told sternly, were only present in the human animal. This was also the view of many philosophers and theologians. I was also told I should not have empathy with my subjects, for scientists must be objective, and this was impossible if you were emotionally involved. This, of course, is not true. When I submitted my first scientific paper for publication in Nature, the editor crossed out everywhere I had written he or she and substituted it. Were they even to be deprived of their gender? I crossed out each it and underlined every he and she, and that was published. She was the founder of the Jane Goodall Institute and the Roots and Shoots program and worked extensively on conservation and animal welfare issues. She was on the board of the Non-Human Rights Project. Jane Goodall adopted a plant-based diet in 2015 after realizing the negative impact of animal agriculture on the environment, animal welfare, and human health. Jane Goodall highlighted the ethical implications of animal agriculture, including the suffering of animals raised for food and the environmental damage caused by industrial farming. The release of the documentary film The Smell of Money was on this day in 2022. The smell of money, that's what Big Pork calls the stench of pig waste in the air in eastern North Carolina, where much of the world's bacon and barbecue is made. But to Elsie Herring and others who live near the state's giant pig factories, the revolting odor is a call to battle against generations of injustice. When a corporate hog farm moves in uninvited on land her grandfather had purchased after claiming his freedom from slavery, Elsie Herring decides to fight back. But as her rural community becomes the epicenter of the pork industry's explosion in America, Elsie's struggle to save her family's home and heritage turns into a battle against one of the world's most powerful companies and its deadly pollution. After decades of intimidation and defeat, Elsie and her community team up with a gutsy small-town lawyer to take the world's largest pork company to court. An epic 9-year legal battle ensues, and the residents risk everything to reclaim their rights to clean air, pure water, and a life free from the stench of pig manure. A story about the power of love for one's family and community to triumph over even the largest forces of injustice. The Smell of Money calls upon viewers to see the people behind what's on their plates and to join the fight for a better future for us all. And here's a reading from Psalm 42 for today. Deep calls to deep, in the roar of your waterfalls, all your waves and breakers have swept over me. By day the Lord directs his love, at night his song is with me, a prayer to the God of my life. Psalm 42. This has been the Vegan's Almanac with a reminder that to live vegan is the most loving choice.